Hey Toy Family, welcome to another edition of the Marsham Toy Hour, where we discuss anything and everything toys. I'm Gary Ham.
I'm Theresa Hawkins.
And I'm George Gaspar.
Teresa, you almost missed all of October. Welcome back.
I didn't almost miss it, did I? Has it been that long?
It's been that long. It's been about 3 weeks. Yeah, I think, well,
Man.
Okay, I looked at the Marsham. You were on the October 1st release, but then you didn't actually record until like September 27th. So, yeah, this is your first October recording.
Well, glad I slipped right in there.
What have you been up to?
Well, I have what I call a hell house right now because
It's Halloween, so that's fitting. Hell house.
Yeah, I wish it was because I decorated for Halloween. I've just been dealing with house issues, roof leaks, plumbing issues. It's been very hectic, so I've been kind of dealing with not so fun things. That and between that and work, it's been a little crazy. So, but I'm glad to be able to slip back in, get a little podcast chatting in amongst all the crazy.
Well, it's nice having you back. And let me ask you this. I know a little bit about your plumbing issues. I know this happened like 2 or 3 weeks ago, and I know that you're still without water in your house. This all happened like 3 days after you booked your plane and hotel for DesignerCon. And all of that's non-refundable. So
Yes.
if this occurred before you booked DesignerCon, do you think you still would have gone to DesignerCon?
Great question. I don't know. I probably would have really debated it. But the reason, I got kind of lucky. I had some gift cards and stuff that I was able to use to help pay for my trip, so it wasn't a ton out of pocket for me. So I don't know. It hurts a little because normally when I go to these events, I just kind of go crazy and I don't care about budget and I just buy a bunch of stuff. So it'll be interesting this year to see how well I do with budgeting or if I'm more cautious. I don't know. It's going to be different. Things have been so crazy. I literally haven't even... I know we talked with Kat like a while back about planning, like spreadsheets and notes and like all this stuff, and I haven't had time to really do any of that. But then again, like DesignerCon's one of those things where I feel like, I don't know if it's like an artist thing or what, but so many reveals tend to happen like right before the event. So I'm probably really not that behind anyway.
Yeah, I reached out to the Stomping Ground this week for, what can we talk about this week? And we'll do a DesignerCon thing. I'm like, there's been hardly any mentions of drops for DesignerCon yet. So I imagine next week's going to be pretty heavy with all that stuff. And then maybe next week's recording, we can start doing some DesignerCon stuff.
Yeah. Well, I think it's just a thing. Like, I don't know if it's a hype thing or just like a artist wrapping up their work thing, but it just never seems like, even like San Diego and Comic-Con and other places, I feel like all the news kind of hits that like week before. So it'll be interesting to see all the news hit and what all I see. But I don't know. I might have to be tight on the budget this year, but I don't know. I haven't decided if I'm just going to say screw it and just have fun or if I'm going to try to be a responsible adult.
You should be somewhat responsible. You do have holidays like just around the corner too.
I know.
You got to buy George and I a nice Christmas gift. It's part of being on the show.
Oh, okay. Well, thank you for the heads up. I'll get you something. What about a honey baked ham?
I'll take it.
No, actually, I do love honey baked ham. They're expensive, so buy me a large one.
It's good. It fits with the theme of the show. It's delicious.
Basically the logo.
Right. Maybe at DCon we need to sit and the three of us go eat some ham together for the sake of the podcast.
I do love me some ham, so sounds good. All right, so how about we start off with some leaks and sneak peeks?
Let's do it.
Sure.
All right, Teresa, since you've been gone for a while, how about ladies first?
Okay, I could do that. Like you said, I think we're kind of holding off on some DCon news right now, but I think we've talked about this toy before. Oh my gosh, and now my dog's about to bark. Sorry.
Chamaco.
I don't know why I'm kind of creeped out because it's dark. Bailey. Come on, bad timing. Come on.
If something bad could happen, George, and we're actually on the call,
that would be weird.
That would be weird.
Come on now, don't say things like that.
No, but we can help solve your crime here. Whatever's going on over there.
Detective?
You got some strong witnesses right here.
No. Like bad timing. Stop.
Oh, you know what, Gary? I forgot I was going to introduce myself as George Gaspar today. I totally forgot.
Sorry about that.
What's this backstory backstory on this?
Well, I did a promo image for last week, and I made a typo, and it made it all the way through all the social media posts. So he was George Garspar in our promotional material this week.
George Garspar. Here we go.
I didn't even catch that.
I know. Neither did I.
I didn't catch it till the second time I looked at it, so it's okay.
That's hilarious. Well, George Garspar. All right. Well, so one of the things I wanted to talk about is a toy we've talked about before, I think. It's Jobi the Moon Fox. And it's that fox character created by OK Luna. And I don't know if you've seen it, but it's kind of like a larger Sofubi figure with the fox arms kind of on its side. And they actually finally they've been doing a lot of different, more kind of clear colorways of this figure, and they finally did an OG colorway for it in kind of like a fox orange, and they originally sold it at Taipei Toy Festival just a little bit ago, and it sold out, and they've actually come back and they're going to do a worldwide pre-order release, so everyone can have a chance to order the Jobi Moon Fox. I think the pre-order opens on November 1st. And there's retailers, honestly, across the globe selling it. In the U.S., MyPlasticHeart will have it, and in the U.K., Cory. But if you go to Toy Chronicle, there's a blog post there with like a whole big list, and OK Luna's Instagram also has the giant list of all the different places that are selling it. But it's pretty exciting because I think it's one of those figures that has been really hard to get a hold of since they seem to be sold mostly at conventions. So now there's a chance to get one for yourself. And it's a cute colorway.
It is, but didn't you get one of these from Taipei Toy Fest? Like, just someone picked it up for you? So, I mean, I think it's sold out there. So how does it feel now to know that something you had muled, it sold out, you're probably pretty excited to obtain it, and now it's going to be made more widely available via, like, a worldwide pre-order?
I don't know, it's kind of, I don't know if it's just like a misinterpretation or what, but it can be frustrating sometimes to kind of be chasing a thing and not really sure if they're going to turn around and release it again in a different way. So, but it's still exciting. I think it's good that finally the figure is being sold wider so more people can get their hands on it. Because I know we've talked about in the past how, like, it almost sounds like this is sort of similar to what Hikari Bambi and Theresa Chiba did with their figures, where they kind of created an original colorway and tried to make it pretty widely available. So it seems like this is going to be a way to get your hands on one if you haven't been able to yet. So I think that's good.
And to be fair, this looks different than that other release. Like, it doesn't
From Taipei?
look... Yeah, it looks... I know it looks similar in color, but this is more of a... There's almost like a translucency to it. Like, there's like a translucency to the orange.
Yeah, I noticed that
too. And it doesn't look like... It doesn't come with that little jar, right?
I have no idea. I mean, I saw in the promo, it had one had a jar and the other one didn't. You're right. One had more of like a very opaque look to it, and the other one had like a semi-transparency. Like it had like sprays too. I think that gave it that. Maybe it was just the sprays that give it that transparency feel.
Yeah. All right, y'all got me looking at this now. I hadn't really noticed those slight differences, but you're right. The one with the pre-order it's almost got like a gradient to it, plus the like little blue tips on kind of like the ends of its like
on the ends
there.
of his cheeks there.
Yeah, you're right. It is stiff. Oh my gosh, I wonder if it is clear. Huh.
So it looks like it's probably a little bit translucent. Like, you know, it doesn't look like it's translucent like some of those earlier ones, but it's definitely different than that Taipei Toy Release one.
Well, shoot, maybe I want both now.
See, now you got something special when you got that other one. Now you got to order the new one, too.
Well, shoot, George, I don't got no extra money right now. I got plumbing to fix.
Save it.
Should I have water in my house or should I have toys?
Toys.
Buy the toys that toys will float too, so they'll help give you a little raft when your house starts filling up with water.
Oh, geez. Don't even...
And you know what I'm saying here, too, Theresa, is any customers who do pre-order this through any of the stores, it's a 1-week pre-order from Wednesday, November 1st to Wednesday, November 8th. And anyone who orders it during that period, you will also receive a nice little Jobi pin as a gift.
Cool. It's fun that they made it a slightly different release. That maybe makes me a little more excited for it. It's hard to tell, too, if it's like a open pre-order or what. So it'll be interesting to see if they'll just take however many people order, or if stores will kind of sell out. So that'll be interesting to see too.
I did reach out to Vin and MyPlasticHeart, and he did say it's an open pre-order only during that 1 week period. So, it's not limited to only 20 for his store or whatever. So however many are ordered, those orders will be fulfilled. So,
cool. That's awesome.
Yeah.
I like when people do that.
Yeah. What else you got, Theresa?
All right. So the second thing, and you mentioned Vin and MyPlasticHeart. So MyPlasticHeart is welcoming back Konatsu, who is a Japanese artist, and they're going to have another exhibition. It starts November 3rd, and it's going to run through November 26th. And last year, this is one of those shows that makes me super sad. I don't live closer to New York, even though I know I'm on the east side. It's still not like I can just get there very easily. But what's really, really cool is they always have custom figures as well as exclusive figure releases, and then Konatsu actually comes in town and she'll do live painting and sketches and stuff for people while she's there during the opening weekend. So I think that's really cool. One of these days I feel like I got to get to one of these events, because being able to meet her and get something from her that would be really cool. So I think that's a really exciting event, and they've MyPlasticHeart has been leaking a few different sneak peeks of the different figures that are going to release, not the customs but more of the exclusive runs they're going to have. My personal favorite is they just released, Konatsu just created this newer Nagora figure called Fluffy Nagora, and it's like a chubby, fluffier version of the traditional Nagora figure, and I mean, dare I say, so cute. It's got these super cute bug eyes, and I don't know, you just want to reach in and squeeze it. But she released one other version that's kind of like a gray cat, but the one at MyPlasticHeart is going to be this really pretty pearl white color with some purple and blue accents on it. It's really, really cute. So I don't know. I'm hoping that they have enough that they don't sell at the event and are able to put a few online, so I'm able to try and get one.
I don't know. Konatsu's popular.
I know, but I have to have faith. I have to have faith. But I think it's super exciting. They're able to get her back over. I know it was a super great, successful event last year, so I'm sure it'll be great again this year. So yeah, I'll live through other people. I look forward to seeing all the photos of people go and what she creates during her custom painting and live painting sessions. So yeah.
Awesome.
It'd be cool.
George, we gonna do some couch funding?
Yeah, we are. Let's couch fund this thing. First one up is a toy, and it's a 1/12, which is 6-inch scale, super articulated action figure blanks. And they're actually starting off with skeletons. So basically, it's a 6-inch scale skeleton action figure.
Okay.
Which I think is awesome. If they get to a certain goal, they're gonna unlock the male form, which is just like a muscular superhero looking male body. And then they've teased way down in there that they'll do a female form if they get to a certain goal too. So we'll see how far they get, but just look up cryptid toys or just look up 6-inch scale, super articulated action figure blanks. They're $22 for one figure plus shipping. But that's kind of the price of 6-inch scale figures these days. Even in the store, they're $20 each, so
right.
It's not too high to ask. I love skeletons, so I had to jump in on this thing.
Are they stylized at all, or is it basic human anatomy scale?
They're pretty much human anatomy. I mean, they're not trying to get they're not stylized the way my skeleton was when I did the Skeleton Warriors thing, which was a little cartoony stylized version. This is a little more straight up, trying to be. I think they're trying to act like if you want to sculpt your own figures, like if you're a customizer and you do 6-inch figures, this would be a good thing to kind of sculpt over top of. I don't know if it would really work like that because I don't know if the joints would work the same once you build up all the stuff around it. But I don't know. I think it's just be cool to have an army of 6-inch skeletons on my shelf. So I'm down.
Yeah. It's very Halloween-esque too, George.
Sure, fits right in. That's why I planned that.
Yeah, they have all these different poses, with its mouth open. Man, you should make a little animation out of yours, George. Your little skeleton talking and moving around, going after
sure,
your other.
I got time for that.
You got a homework assignment, George.
Do it.
I'm good.
Fun.
And then there's a just another quick one to go for is not toy related, but it's kind of in our field. Do you ever hear of the guy named Will Vinton? Does that name ring a bell to you guys?
Not to me.
He was
No.
he was the guy that did the California Raisins, like the claymation.
Oh, okay.
And he used to have a studio, Will Vinton Studio. I actually applied there when I first when I was first getting into special effects and all that stuff. I think it was like in Portland or somewhere. I'm trying to remember where it was. I don't even remember. It was a long ass time ago. But someone is doing a documentary on Will Vinton, which is awesome. He's been doing this stuff. I mean, obviously since California Raisins, and there's a ton of that stuff from his past. The Noid, you remember the Noid?
Oh yeah, totally.
Avoid the Noid. So that was this guy. And he's got a sweet mustache, and they're raising money to do a documentary on him.
Nice.
Huh. See,
I don't know if it's going to get there. It's not going very fast right now, but they still have a little over a week when this goes out, a little over a week to go, and hopefully they can raise some money. Everybody jump in and get a digital copy or something.
Remind me, George, was that for Domino's?
Was it Domino's or Pizza Hut?
It's just Domino's.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, that was around the time of Max Headroom and a lot of good commercial characters came out during the 80s.
Yeah, most I don't remember, but I remember California Raisins simply because back in PE, we would do these, like, I don't know if you all did it, but like, did you all have to do like end of the year, like performances for your parents from like PE or anything like that? Because we totally did a California Raisins dance, and we were wearing like big white gloves and like doing the dance to the California Raisin song. That's the only reason I remember it. And I'm sure, honestly, I could dig up a VHS in my mom's place of us doing that dance. I'm sure it exists because
we need to see that, please.
Yeah, please, yeah.
I'll look it up. If I find it, maybe I will. I'll share it. I'll have to watch it first and see if it's how embarrassing it is.
No, don't bother watching it first. Just post it right online.
Send on over. That's your homework assignment.
I'll see if I can find it. She actually sent us like a digital version. She went through and like took all our VHSs as kids and digitized them and put them all on
smart
hard drives for us. So
yeah, smart.
I'll look it up, see if that baby's on there, because there's some good ones on there from all sorts of stuff. But yeah, so I know those California Raisins. I remember that.
Okay.
Well, I think this would be a really cool movie to see. I'm interested. I like the art of stop motion itself, so I think it's would be fun to see. So just check out Welcome to My Daydream. You can type that into Kickstarter.
All right. Good couch fun shorts. All right, it's my turn. And so what I did this week is I thought I'd turn my leaks and sneak peeks into a little game. George, last week we were talking with Eric Althen, a.k.a. Sad Salesman. And I don't know, I don't remember how it came about, but we talked about it would be fun to take blog posts, throw them into Babelfish, and then kind of read them that way. So mine, what I did was I went to a couple blogs, I found something, I put it into Babelfish, I had it translated into Japanese, then I had that Japanese translation translated back to English. So I'm going to read it to you, and then you guys try to guess what I'm talking about.
Are we guessing a toy name or an artist name or both?
Both. Just try to guess what the thing is that I'm describing. And it's gonna sound like I don't know how to read. I promise I do know how to read, but this is jacked up translation. It's not regular English, so you'll see what I mean when I read. So here we go. First one. Mistletoe is a cheerful old kid robot hang in the chimney would be soon. You can get this holiday season while drinking and merriment straight Kronk.
It's the Kronk Dunny. The Christmas pudding. Christmas pudding.
What that really meant to say was the mistletoe has been hung by the chimney with care in hopes that jolly old kid robot will soon be there this holiday season while drink and be merry when you can get straight Kronk. So
nice. I like your poem, Gary.
You like that? I didn't write that. I'm sure that's Kid Robot copy I just read right there.
Oh, you pulled that? Oh, I thought you wrote that. Well, I'm gonna take a little of that credit back then.
No. This is all stuff I found online, and then I had it translated, and I'm gonna read you the babbled version, and then I'll read you the real version. So
I'm thinking you went and like took all this time, wrote the sweet poem. No, you're just stealing.
No, that's way too much time and effort, and I'm not smart enough to do that. But actually, so Kid Robot every year does an Xmas-themed Dunny release, and this year the South African artist Kronk got the honor of doing the design, which is actually an early Christmas gift for a lot of collectors because Kronk used to do a lot of design work for Kid Robot, but actually his last design was seen in 2014. It was an 8-inch Madame Mayhem Dunny that he did. So it's really great to see Kronk's return to Kid Robot, and actually his holiday Dunny this year depicts what they are calling Christmas pudding, which I actually have never heard of before, so I don't know what it is, but it looks like...
It's British.
Is it like fruitcake,
it's essentially? A British thing. No, I think it's like a British thing, because Momiji made a Christmas pudding Momiji doll too, and I remember seeing that, and I'm like, what the heck is this? And everyone in the UK is like, oh, Christmas pudding, blah, blah, blah. So I just don't think it's a US thing. Okay. Unless, George, you know what it is.
No, I mean, I've heard it in songs, like figgy pudding, that kind of thing.
I don't know. I'm not familiar.
I'm gonna Google.
But I mean, it kind of looks like a fruitcake with icing on top, and he's got 2 giant red eyes, and for the Dunny ears, they're like holly leaves, and he has a little bottle of brandy as an accessory. It's a really cool looking piece, and it's nice to see Kronk back with Kid Robot. So the figure's gonna release sometime in November, and it's gonna run of 1,000 pieces, and they're gonna be $14.99 each. And I think they're available for pre-order now at one of our sponsors, StrangeCatToys.com. So if you want to pre-order it, head on over there now. I do have one more. And how do you guys want this translated to you? With stuff that might give it away or without?
Without.
Yeah, take it out.
Make it hard.
All right. You asked for it. This is going to be a little tricky. So here's the translation. Is the cat out of the bag? Toys version is to book online. Sign of good luck for those who seeking it. Certainly international collectors. Appeared in various exhibitions. Seems you have works of art toys.
What?
No idea.
Was it about a cat?
Something about a cat. I will.
It said cat.
Yeah. I did say the cat's out of the bag.
I don't know. Maybe it's a literal cat coming out of the bag into your house, onto your shelf.
No.
What are the chances of that?
I don't know. I'm just taking a stab, George. Take your own stab.
I got no stabs. That was nonsense.
Okay, so here's the real write-up that I had translated. Here we go. The cat's out of the bag. Candy Bolton time Pieces of Art Toys Randalulu Luckylulu edition has made it onto online pre-order. Surely a sign of luck for international collectors who've been seeking out this lucky cat edition. After making appearances at various exhibitions, it looks like Piece of Art Toys has made Randalulu Luckylulu available. So that's it. That's the actual write-up is how it went down. So what it is, and anyone who's not familiar, is the Randalulu is a toy designed by amazing artist Candy Bolton, and it's being produced by Piece of Art Toys. Randalulu is generally, it looks like a red panda, but in this case, which is pretty cool, is it lends itself to look like a lucky cat, which is, so this colorway is going to be white, and you can raise the hand, the paw up, and well, it just looks very much like an Eastern version of a lucky cat. And it's going to be $49, and it's currently available for pre-order through November. So if you head on over to playtoy.com.hk, you can pre-order this for $49.
Yeah, I have to say, I love the articulation on this figure because I love the sitting position it could be put in. It's cute.
When you translated that last paragraph into what it was supposed to be, it sounded just as foreign to me as the first time you read it.
Yeah, if you're not familiar with the toy itself, like just Randalulu, Luckylulu, that sounds crazy. That's going to wrap up Leason's Sneak Peek, so let's take a brief moment and mention some of our sponsors. So for all your designer toy needs, wants, and desires, we have two awesome stores for you. First off, there's 3dretro.com, and 3D Retro also has a beautiful brick and mortar location out there in Southern California. So if you ever find yourself in the area, say this weekend at DesignerCon, maybe make a little side trip and check out 3D Retro. Also, another store that we have as a sponsor is StrangeCatToys.com. So head on over to StrangeCatToys.com, fill up that cart, and use promo code. Well, actually, there's a new promo code this week. So the new promo code is DOPE. DOPE. So be sure to use promo code DOPE at checkout, and you'll receive 10% off your order. And for all your daily designer toy news, be sure to follow SpankyStokes.com and TheToyChronicle.com. So let's move on. I actually have a really fun Monster Mash game designed for later since it's Halloween. Before we get to that, how about we discuss... Actually, there's something on Facebook the last 2 weeks. It was started by Kirby Kerr of Road to Fuji. He's one of the owners of Road to Fuji. And really, it's been sparked quite the conversation on Facebook. So what started was Kirby posted, "I think we've got enough unlicensed pop culture mashup designer toys now." And that's really all he's kind of said. It's been like a blanket statement. And it's, I don't know, maybe it's too old of a thread to bring up, but
that's an evergreen topic. I think we've discussed it before, I believe.
I think we have, but we can go into it a little further now. I guess, now that it's been widely discussed for the past 2 weeks. I don't know if you stayed on top of the thread or I check back, every few days and see if, what people are saying. So, so Kirby posted, he thinks that there's been enough unlicensed mashup toys and designer toys. So, George, when you first read that, what were your initial thoughts?
Trying to think back to when I read this and what I thought at the time. I see what he's saying. I see where he's coming from. And like a few years ago, I probably would have been like right on there going, yeah, screw that. But I think it's just kind of where everything has gone. Like Artist Alley is literally just like Fan Art Alley. Yeah. And it's kind of grown into this scene as well. Like everyone it's just kind of like fan art time now. And I think that's just what people are doing.
Now, I
don't think it's necessarily bad. I also don't think that kind of stuff sticks around. It doesn't have the longevity that someone who's creating their own world is going to have.
Now, what exactly do you think Kirby's talking about? He mentioned mashups. So is he specifically talking about the mashups that we see in a lot of the bootlegs being done? Or is he talking about a lot of stuff that we're seeing coming out of, of the East? A lot of unlicensed toys being done, like a Krusty the Clown with his face on a bomb and that sort of stuff. Or do you think is it kind of like a all-encompassing blanket statement?
It's probably all of it, right? I mean, it's between the resin Sucklord scene, that whole thing has just become, what did I like when I was little and how can I turn it into this now?
Right.
So it's like, it's probably a little bit of that. Plus there's all those, like, I think, aren't those Freeney ones they're all licensed, right? Those little half and half.
I'm not sure, but I would have to think so. As much as they're doing, I would think at least some of the Mighty Jack stuff is properly licensed.
So it's like, it's probably a little bit of that, like Sickasy and stuff like that. It's like, I don't know. It's just probably, it's supposed to be art, but it's consumer products. It's not really, they're a little bit different. Like they're not, I know that they're all art, but they're not really the same thing when it comes down to it. Consumer products is a very different field. Not that the people who do consumer products aren't artists or talented. It's just, it's not art, and it's not really art toys, depending on what your view of the art toy scene is and what the definition. I think that's that whole big thing where no one really knows what the definition of art toy is. So it's like, who's to say that consumer product, is not art?
Right. Yeah, I think it's just a lot of people are just having a tough time with the change. I mean, I didn't exactly like it when Kid Robot started licensing out the Dunny to DC Batman series. Like I always sort of felt that was I don't know, artist based, an original art sort of platform. It's probably the more iconic toys of the toy scene. It's definitely I always sort of felt as like symbolizes this sort of art toy thing that's been going on for many years. I guess one of the staple toys of the scene. So when it started getting licensed out, I was like, that kind of sucks. It sort of took the the wind out of my sails a little bit, but I have adjusted to it. And if it happens, it happens. But they're still continuing to do lots of cool artist series with it too. It's just, you just have to adjust to that. And then you mentioned, is it consumer art or art? And of course that's all subjective. It's in the eyes of the beholder kind of sort of thing. But I think for me, when Dove is the guy, or Dove Kellemer of DKE, when he's the guy that's behind or spearheading bootlegs and mashup toys and unlicensed stuff, I think when you have a guy that's that well respected in the toy scene and that smart, I think people sort of see that happening and go, okay, we can all do it. It's acceptable if he's doing it. And I think that's one part, or largely responsible why we have so many bootlegs and mashups today. I mean, Dove is one of the guys that took Sucklord under his wing, and anyone who doesn't know, Sucklord is like the godfather of bootlegs. He was the guy that was doing it before anybody else, and now there's 40, 80, maybe 100 guys, different people doing them. And I don't know. When people see that Dove's doing it and doing very well at selling them at conventions, and whether they're good or not, they're selling, and people have taken notice.
Yeah, I mean, it's not really hard to come up with a mashup idea. You just think of a pun and put it out. It's not like it's not really it's not high art or anything. It's just but if it's fun and you're having fun doing it, I don't know, who cares? Just do it. Look at that piece that Kano just put out. That could have easily just been unlicensed Kano design, but that Bruce Lee is the one I'm talking about. But that's an official licensed Bruce Lee toy, right?
Yeah, it is. The one with Toy
So
Cube.
it's yeah. So it's, I mean, sometimes something cool can come out of it. He gets to do what he would have done anyway. He would have designed that figure the same way he designed it now, and the licensor let him do his style. So I think that kind of stuff is cool. I think if more license holders were open to things like that, I think more of the stuff could be licensed. And if it weren't for the huge licensing fees that are out there, if we had the opportunity, if a lot of these people had the opportunity to actually license it, I bet you they would. I bet you they would want to, because then it's an official piece, Right. Who wouldn't rather have an official branded, whatever they're making, rather than this bootleg knockoff one? I think people would love to have the official version, especially if they can keep their style and do their thing and do their take. But the problem is mostly licensors aren't going to do that. They don't want their brand soiled, or they don't want their image, or they don't have an open mind enough to look at what the thing is and see it for see it for what the art part of it is. Right. They just worry that their brand is getting twisted and people are going to get it confused, So I think if it were open, I think more people would do it. And I don't think there'd be a problem with it.
So George, you talking through this idea of being able to license stuff, but still kind of design freely to your style. I mean, it reminds me a lot of what's kind of going on in Kid Robot with the Wonder Woman that Tara did, and the Care Bears and all of that kind of stuff. It kind of seems like they're also trying to do those kind of things, similar to the Bruce Lee that Kano did, where they're getting these licensed products out there, but there's some that are like the Nickelodeon release that was meant to be kind of a kid robotized version of these characters that personally I didn't think in some cases translated. But then you have the ones that are a little bit more artistic, where an artist can come in and interpret a character in their own way. So I don't know what your opinion is of those, but it sounds like a similar idea that Kid Robot is at least trying to push and be open to those opportunities for artists to be able to come in and go with a theme of a license, but put their own spin on it.
Oh, and I bet it's a fight for them. I bet that they've had stuff that was like a way more wild idea than what it ended up being, and they're probably getting turned down left and right. I can only imagine from the time that I worked in that kind of stuff, where, any little thing that's not exactly on model or anything, things like that, they're so stuck in these ways of things having to look a certain way that to have an artist come in and try and retranslate it into something else, a lot of those people just aren't their businesses, and they're not going to be open to that because they have to protect their brand. So I bet even Kid Robot has had, they're never going to be allowed to say, because they can't badmouth the licensor, and it would be seen as bad mouthing. But I bet you that they get turned down all the time for things that they're trying to do, and they have to tame it down to something that's acceptable for both parties.
Yeah, which sucks because I think we are seeing a lot of licensed stuff, and I know we've talked, in a few past episodes about how there's a place for it and potentially a need to help bring other people in, to bring people in the scene. If you see something recognizable, that might be the thing that brings you in, and then you discover other stuff. I think the problem is that it'd be nice to see more of that, the ability to kind of see some of the pure licensed stuff, but also spins or interpretations on them. So yeah, it's a struggle, I'm sure, but it's nice to at least see some cases of that where it's a unique spin on a character that's beneficially licensed to be able to sell. So I don't know. There's a lot of licensed stuff out there, and personally, it's not, something I'm particularly interested in. But still at the same time, every now and again, something comes up that is licensed, that is something that I like, kind of either if it's a childhood thing or whatnot. So, I think licensing has its place. I just think it's that balance, right? Like, I don't want the whole scene just to become that. I want the art and the design and the uniqueness of artists to be able to stay around. And I think it's still there. It's just, it feels like licenses is kind of coming in and overtaking it, which is unfortunate.
I think it's just because that's what sells, and that's what we need. The stores need that sort of stuff because that's what's recognizable to the non-collectors. That's what's, people walking off the street with their family and kids. That's what they're going to be buying, is the stuff that they recognize. So I understand, we need this, licensed product to help keep our stores open and help this, maybe bring in new eyes to the toy scene. But I don't think, it's definitely a lot more apparent that, there's a lot more fan art based toys, a lot more mashups, but I think it's like being narrow-minded to say that's what's killing the toy scene and that's what's bringing it down, and the toy scene sucks today because of it. It's just not true. There's still a lot of really good original stuff being produced in conjunction with a lot of the the easier to sell non-licensed licensed stuff.
I totally agree.
That's a lot of the stuff that's sometimes the only thing that's selling is this mashup unlicensed stuff. It's just I think it's kind of saved a lot of these places that that would have otherwise had nobody buying anything. It's if it didn't sell, you take a Bob's Burgers and you put a Bob's head on a Boba Fett, you got Bob Fett, and someone's gonna buy it, and it's just I don't know, if nobody would buy it, people would stop making it. So it's whose fault is it? It's it's not the guy who's making it. He just knows it's going to sell.
Right.
Yeah. No, and like I said, it's not that I don't have anything licensed in my collection. I don't have a ton of it, but obviously there's certain pieces that I'm attracted to too, because you like certain characters. It's just how it is. So I don't think I would never also want it to be the flip side where licensing completely goes away. I think there's a place for it in the scene. I think it's just some people, sometimes it feels like that's what I'm seeing a lot of. And you're like, oh, okay. But again, I think there's a place for it and it pulls people in. And obviously every now and again I see something that I like too. So I don't know. It doesn't really bother me per se. As long as the art side of it still stays around, I don't really see a huge problem with it.
Yeah. We got to learn how to all get along.
Don't they have? Yeah. I've heard in Japan that they have these licenses that you can get for just a specific convention. If you
1-day licenses, yeah.
Yeah, if you want to go to this convention to make this thing, you can get the license just to make it for that convention.
Yeah, didn't Theresa Chiba talk about that, Gary? About how for
it's been mentioned several times. Yeah, Don Dada does mention it. I think Theresa. It's widely done over in the East at the conventions and stuff. So, it'd be great if we could do that here, but it's just it's not what we have in place.
It's funny. It's these big companies are leaving money on the table. There's, if they're going to complain that people are making fan art, it's let them pay you. It's just they need to, the problem is they would need a system in place where people can apply for that kind of stuff, you know, and make it easy, because artists aren't, you know, the best business people.
No, they're not. And I think it's kind of like just to each their own, you know. Like I think we need either the unlicensed and licensed stuff to bring new collectors into the scene. Like collectors have that mentality of wanting to collect, so of course we want them to see our stuff as well. It's like, and the pop culture is what's going to bring them in and initially take notice of our stuff. And it's not going to be easy because, you know, the pop culture stuff tends to be a little more more affordable. Exactly. Yeah. So, you know, you're not going to jump in and instantly buy, you know, maybe a $65, you know, Kid Robot Care Bear piece. That's going to be too much for the average collector just starting. So you're going to want to wean your self on Dunnies and stuff. But, you know, also it's great to see Kid Robot product where you can look at Wonder Woman and know Tara McPherson did that, or Julie West did that Care Bear. And the same thing with the Kano piece. You can look at the Dragon King and you know Kano did it. I mean, it's an artist-driven licensed piece, and that's definitely what I would prefer to see more of. And it's funny, Georgia, you mentioned how Artist Alley's become more fan art, and it's just kind of like you just mentioned Kano as well. Like, so for DesignerCon this year, I mean, Kano essentially designed fan art, you know, type style badges. I mean, it's his style, but incorporating, you know, the Marvel IP, you know, characters. So it's like fan art badges for DesignerCon, which is actually pretty funny.
Oh yeah, I mean, it's got a superheroes theme. Every year has a theme, so I mean that's kind of acceptable, I guess. I mean, if you look at them, actually, the badges throughout the years have had that.
Have they?
There's Chris Lee did them one year, and they were, you know, there was a Skeletor, there was a Garfield, there was and I think Ragnar did them one. I don't know if Ragnar's had anything, but yeah, they've had pop culture essences in them in each year.
So what was last year's? Because I remember getting my badge and I didn't at all, if it was supposed to be licensed or based off like a character, I totally didn't get it.
Was last year's the one with it was the Marty McFly chicken, right? Was that last year or the year before?
I don't think it was that one. Mine was like it looked like a guy, just like a like I literally have no idea if it was. I'll have to send you a picture of my badge, and you can tell me.
Yeah, send me a picture because I don't remember. The vendor badges are different than the attendee badges, so I don't know. Because there's like 5 or 6 different designs.
Looks like Kano did like 9 or something like that. It looks like he did.
Yeah, I mean, there's everything from like VIP to attendee to Saturday only, Sunday only, vendor, like everyone, like press. Everybody has a different badge.
It's funny because Gary, Toy Chronicle Gary, we were talking about VIP badges. He said he drunk bought 3 different ones, like a weekend, a Sunday, and a VIP. And we were cracking up. He was like, "You won't be laughing when you see that I get all these different Kano badges." He's like, "I'm going to get one of each." But it was cracking me up. But it'll be fun to see because I got VIP, so I'll be curious to see which one is the VIP one. I mean, it's cool. I really like the Batman one. That's probably my favorite one. Spider-Man's pretty cool too.
Spidey's
but yeah,
one of my favorites is actually probably the redesign of Vincent, the DesignerCon mascot he did. I think that new design looks great. But what's fantastic about the badges, I think he did 9 total, is you look at them, if you're familiar at all with Kano style, you know he did them. There's no doubt about it. It's and that's what's cool about it. It's you can look at it and know who the artist is. They're really well done. They're really creative, and there's an obvious street flair to it, which is something you don't expect from the hero universe at all. And I could actually see some of these being either a singular toy or even a really nice minifigure series can come from them if a licensor allowed it.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully he'll be selling like a print or something.
Yeah, I'm surprised they don't do that. I'm surprised that like they don't sit and whoever the artist is that featured for the badges, they also make figures of them at the same time. They should totally do that.
Oh man.
You'd have to plan that out so far in advance that there's no way Ben's going to do that.
I mean, you saw it, Theresa. Kano was still like coloring them all like last week or 2 weeks ago.
All right, fine.
These artists they're not on top of it that much.
Well, that's what I'm saying earlier. Like, decon reveals don't come out until like 3 days before. It's like, oh, hey, I'm going to have this. And I'm like, damn it. Like, I can't plan. Y'all got it.
You've seen enough custom events, or like, especially for following artists on social media, where everyone, like, the show's next week, but most artists are, like, working on it, like, the week of the show. So that's just how artists operate. And I'm sure most vendors of Decon are, like, sweating bullets right now, either trying to get all the product ready or waiting on product to come from overseas.
Well, you don't have to do that. George does, I guess. You sweating bullets, George, about your booth?
Yeah, I should be working right now, not on this podcast.
Thanks, George. I will say that one nice thing to see about that thread is, a lot of people were kind of down about the mashups and unlicensed and just licensing takeover designer toys, but then Frank Kozik, creative director over at Kid Robot, chimed in, and he was trying to be positive. He was saying that at Kid Robot they've noticed and they've realized they've seen this going on, and all he can say is between just 3 miniseries and in the current release or upcoming, they are producing nearly 40 unique sculpts, non-platform, non-licensed minifigure series, and medium figures, as well as 75 Dunny designs by artists. So it sounds like a lot of great things are going to be coming from Kid Robot that are going to be original artist-based, artist-driven designs. And he also mentioned there's well over 150 purely art releases and many more coming. And since January 2015, they've produced nearly 300 different art pieces. So to him, it sounds very healthy. And I agree. It was nice to see Frank chime in with some positivity, because it's easy to see the negative and not pay attention to the positive. And I think there is still a lot of good stuff going on. And I feel like the scene's stronger than it's been in 5 years at least. And
I mean, things change, right? It's just like, nothing's ever going to be like the 90s again, right? Like, things change, things evolve, and I think the scene has just evolved. Now, granted, I don't even know what it was like back when everyone talks about the good old days, because I wasn't even probably a part of it during that time, and that's okay. I came in, I found stuff I liked, and still see stuff I like. I don't know. I just think sometimes people get so wrapped up in being all, it's not the same, blah, blah, blah. But I'm like, well, it's not going to stay the same. You got to just kind of roll with it. Yeah. It's going to evolve.
You don't like it? Just turn I don't know. Look at something else. There's so much stuff in this designer toy scene that, I don't know, there's something for everybody. You don't have to, why get your, undies in a wad because someone else is doing something that you don't particularly agree with? There's so much other stuff. If you're into pop culture, there's definitely something for you. If you're not, then there's plenty of original stuff going on. I think there's just this category of artists that feel that all artists should be doing stuff that's original and not springboarding off of maybe the easier pop culture route. They don't have a problem if someone's doing something properly licensed, but they will definitely see it selling out if you're doing fan art. And I don't know. I have no problem if someone's a true fan of something and they want to create fan art and sell very low runs of that. I personally don't have a problem with that. They're giving that fan base something that the licensor themselves won't give them. And that I understand, and there's plenty of pieces that I have appreciated in that regard. But, then there's the person who's doing unlicensed artwork that doesn't even care for the product, and they're simply doing it because it's an easy sell. And in that regard, if someone is doing that, then I would say they've completely sold out, because not only are they not doing their original art, but they're also doing art of a product they also don't care for, just to get $1. And I don't know. Yeah.
I mean, there's a place for everything. I mean, I personally, I understand and appreciate the ability to generate new ideas in like your own world. I personally don't have that skill. I don't know if I could ever do that. I could definitely appreciate it. Like, I don't know how you create your world of characters, Gary. I don't know. It's like you somehow have some magic side of your brain that you're able to just pull ideas from. And I highly respect that. But I also think, honestly, I know you can just say, oh, like that mashup, I could have thought of that. But no. I didn't. Like, I look at some stuff, right, and I'm like, oh, like that wasn't that hard. But then I think, well, I didn't think of that. That was a cool idea. Like even simple mashups, I think sometimes can be really creative and fun, and some like a cool little combination of stuff. So,
what percentage of mashups do you actually think are good?
0.
No, there's surely there's been a few you've looked at and went, that's clever. Well done.
0.
Really?
And I currently have one for sale right now, and I just remembered that. I did one with Special Ed Toys because I hadn't seen anybody do it, and I was just like, I'm just gonna do it because I think it's funny. And so if you go to specialedtoys.com, you can look up my What About Barb figure.
What about Barb? Stranger Things starts tonight, George.
The 27th. Yeah, so it started on last Friday, right? From when we recorded.
No, midnight tonight it starts.
Not midnight actual tonight or midnight podcast tonight?
No, the podcasts I'm recording.
Oh, you're thinking backwards. Damn it.
I'm thinking it's Monday when people are listening to this.
See, you're a true pro, George.
And y'all just got me all confused.
Yeah.
So if you go,
mashups are fun. I don't know.
So we're releasing the night that this is recording. Spoiler alert for people, for just you two. The night that this is recording, Manny is currently finishing painting the What About Barb figure, and he's gonna put the teasers up on the 27th, the day that it releases on Netflix. And we're doing, I think it's going to be a run of 27 pieces for the date of the 27th that it's released. And we did the What About Barb mashup. What About Barb?
Okay.
Fun.
And I'm putting that in the same category as what I just said of 0. None of them are good.
My God, George. Maybe I just love it all. I don't know.
No, there's some good stuff, and I think there's a lot of crap out there too. But that's what's crap to me is someone else's treasure. So I don't know, whatever.
I mean, on my wall as I look around just this studio right here that I'm sitting in, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 mashups. Like 4 mashup posters just hanging like framed on the wall. So like I obviously love that stuff. I'm a fan of that stuff, but it's still all terrible.
And a lot of it's really, you're paying a lot of money for terrible. Do people, when they buy the carded bootlegs, George, how many people actually ever take it out of the card? It seems like to me like the card is part of the product. It's part of the art of it.
Yeah, I mean, they're not most of the time, and that's why I don't understand why some of these guys, like I think Dollar Slice Bootlegs makes all his like actually articulated and everything. Like if you took it out, you could pose it and play with it. I think on his, I'm trying to think he was the one that was doing it, but like no one, like you should never, like the whole point of the thing is the whole piece of art is the whole package, the figure sealed in the blister, like that's the art. Once you take it out, you just got a crappy piece of resin, like a crappy painted piece of resin. So I think you should, I don't know. I think for me, especially the action figure bootlegs is what I'm talking about here. Those things, they're meant to be, the art in itself is the whole thing. It's the package design. It's the card, the card art. It's the figure. I mean, look at that stuff that DKE put out at San Diego with Manly Art. It was, I think the first one they did was a Boba Fett. I think they might have done one after that, or maybe Boba Fett was the second one. But it was he painted all the cards, like all the backer cards. They were all hand painted Boba Fett images, and then the thing inside the blister was just a dumb glitter casting of a Boba Fett. There was nothing done to it. It was just some random. I think they were like a translucent green with glitter or something like that.
Yeah.
That figure, if you take that out, it's nothing. It's garbage. It's someone learned how to mold and cast. Like it's completely pointless. But the thing that makes the art is that thing sealed in the blister on this hand painted backer card.
So is the toy always needed then, George? Like, do you need the toy in the blister in every case of a bootleg? Like, what would happen if, say, like Sucklord, like he does brilliant art backers. Like, what if he just did art backers without the toy? Would those sell?
I tried to tell Manny to do that with this one. I was like, let's just forget the stupid figure. Like the figure's the dumb part. Like the card is the funny part. Like the card is the mashup image is the fun part. Like the Barb figure, nobody wants a Barb figure. It's dumb. It's like you don't need that at all. So I don't know. I think that I think for that, like the funny part is the What About Bob mashup with Stranger Things.
Now it's funny that you should mention Stranger Things and What About Barb, because early I saw an email from Target. It was about Stranger Things, and I clicked on it, and man, the big difference between season 1 and season 2 of Stranger Things is now season 2 has tons of licensed products out there. So like Target.com is just, there's so much Stranger Things merchandise. But there was a section, George, and it said it was called the What About Barb section, and there it was, like all this, Barb product.
Is it done in the What About Bob font?
No, this looks like Helvetica or something like that.
It's just literally someone saying, "What about Barb?"
It just says, "What about Barb?" And then there's all these different Barb products. And they're
Well, see, look at that.
They're cool looking little patches. So they got, man, so much Stranger Things product at Target. But yeah, I'll be watching tonight.
Tonight? You're going to wait till midnight and stay up?
I'll watch one episode to wet my beak.
You're nuts.
And then hopefully I can just stop at one. You know how that goes. You start with
You know it'll be there forever, right? It's always going to be on there.
I know, but come on.
But George, that's the fun. The fun is like you get in and you just go.
Did you buy the Blu-ray?
In the VHS looking packaging? No.
Yeah.
I don't know. I am not an owner. I feel zero need to own anything. I can just go on Netflix and watch it. I don't need to own a Blu-ray. No. I don't.
Totally agree.
I get it. It's funny. It's an 80s twist. Stranger Things on a VHS packaging. It looks weathered and everything. I get it why someone might want that. But for me, I RedTube. I have no need to ever buy another movie unless it's a movie.
Did you say you RedTube?
RedTube?
What the heck's RedTube?
Did you just say you RedTube?
I YouTube.
Yeah, we got a Freudian slip there.
I YouTube.
Gary's on RedTube.
I YouTube. I don't buy a movie. I can't remember the last movie I bought. It's probably like 5-6 years ago. I think it was Step Brothers, and I didn't even buy it. It was gifted to me.
Wow, that's crazy. I struggled real hard with this packaging. It almost got me. I didn't do it, but it was hard to not.
It's brilliant, but what's the point? It's just going to sit on your shelf. Are you actually going to put it in the DVD player and watch it?
I don't know why you would. It's easier to turn Netflix on.
Exactly. Who does that?
I'll do it for Redbox.
Maybe that's what you meant.
YouTube. Redbox. It's so confusing. There's one time I bought.
Hey, listeners, go to RedTube while we're listening to this.
There was a time when
Please don't. You're gonna get some virus.
There was a time I bought. What it was? I was at work and we had Reese's peanut butter cups, but for some reason I had Reese's Pieces on my mind. And I yelled to a coworker, "Hey, give me some Reese's Penises!" And all that was just my mind, like thinking of the two products and just mashed the two words together, and Reese's Penises came out.
That's hilarious.
And everyone got an amazing laugh. But to me, like my mind, I didn't get it. I thought I just said like Reese's Pieces. Like I didn't hear myself say it until someone else told me, like, you know what you just said, right? So.
You realize they make Reese's with Reese's Pieces in them now. Like you can buy Reese's filled with Reese's Pieces.
Can we stop with the mashup candy?
But it's delicious.
Mashups are in, Gary. We just talked about it for half hour.
I know. It's
yes, but Gary, they're so good. It's so good. People can hate, but they are my favorite Reese's right now. The Reese's Pieces and the Reese's. The best. Highly recommend. Get the little cups. Stick them in the freezer.
I don't like how you say Reese's. It's Reese's.
Reese's Pieces.
Reese's
it rhymes.
Pieces?
No, do you really think the word is Pieces?
It's Reese's Pieces.
No, Reese's Pieces is what I've always said.
What's wrong with you?
Yeah, but that's wrong.
Man.
Reese's Pieces. It's what I've always said.
But you know the word's not Pieces, right?
I know it's not Pieces. It's Pieces.
Do you have pieces of candy? No.
I'm totally having actually a moment because I always thought it was weird that the singular was Reese's. No, wait. Is it Reese's or Reese's?
It's Reese's Pieces.
But by itself, just the cup, not the pieces.
It's Reese's.
I thought it was Reese's, like the name of the product, and so I always thought it was Reese's Pieces to rhyme. I'm seriously having a moment here.
Consider yourself enlightened. You're welcome.
So Reese's Pieces. Oh my God.
It still
I
rhymes.
must have
Look at that.
for my whole life. I've always said Reese's Pieces. All right. I need to go to bed. This is insane.
Well, wait. Okay, we have a game to play. So it is Halloween this week, and so I put together this game. Is called Monster Mash, and what I have done is taken a lot of Halloweenish monster type toys, and I've taken 2 toys, mashed the names together, and I want you guys to tell me which 2 artists would have made that toy.
All right.
Wait, now are these things that actually happened, or are these things that we're inventing?
No, these toys are actually in existence, and I've taken the names of existing toys, mashed the names together, or parts of the name, and to make one toy, and then you have to tell me which 2 artists collaborated to make this toy.
Wait, is this the old game and you're bringing it back to trick me because I don't remember things?
God, you were awful at that game, but yeah, this is this is that same game.
Is it the same one though, or did you write new ones?
I think there might be one of, I don't remember what those ones were, but I feel like maybe 1 or 2 of them might be the same. I'm not sure.
Damn it!
That's hilarious.
And I'm still gonna fail.
So Gary, are we like taking turns or what? First to guess.
Buzz
in.
Yeah, buzz in. Ready? I think I got 12. Whoever has the most points at the end of 12 wins. And
Say your name to buzz in.
No, I just want to say bzz.
And you win nothing.
So what's your buzz noise, George? You can't just say your name. You gotta make a noise.
That's how they do it on radio games. You say your name to buzz in. That's not me. I didn't make that noise.
I'm making noises.
George would be like, buzz. George. All right, are you guys ready to play?
Yes.
Do it.
This is Monster Mash. Number 1. Which 2 artists collaborated to make the toy Crawless Companion? Crawless Companion.
Crawless
Companion. Where's Tyler?
He was terrible. He was terrible at it too.
I know. I miss him.
What? See, I don't have like the history of like the game, the original, to like have that to kind of piggyback on.
All right, so it's obviously Cause is one of the artists. George, I'm saying that Cause, and then I don't know what a Crawless is though.
Crawless.
Okay, Theresa, you want to bounce off of that?
Crawless. Can you spell that?
Krawluss. Crawless.
Oh, I have no idea. Should I know?
Skinner.
Is this...
Correct, George. This is a collaboration between Skinner and Cause.
Yes.
Nicely done.
The companion obviously is Cause, and Crawless was a Skinner toy. 1 point for George. He probably will not get another one, so off to a roaring start. All right, number 2. Which 2 artists collaborated to make this toy? The Kill King Cat Corpse.
Say that first name again. Kill King.
Which 2 artists collaborated to make the Kill King Cat Corpse?
Kill King.
Cat corpse.
Who makes a kill cat? Cat.
Man, Gary, this is tough. I feel dumb.
Well,
I don't know.
It's obviously King. It's King Corpse is one of them. I don't know who the kill cat is though.
So it's like mixed. I was thinking, in like Jeopardy, how like they do mashups, but like the first word goes with one and the second goes with the other. You like okay? Now I'm understanding your system.
Theresa,
okay.
I don't believe you watched Jeopardy. You've been saying Reese's Pieces your entire life.
Shit. Gary, come on now. Don't judge a book by its cover. I like
George,
Jeopardy.
Andrew Bell and James Groman. Is James Groman the guy that made King Corpse?
Wow, nicely done.
Are you cheating, George? Are you Googling?
No.
You cheater. You stay off the internet.
He just figured it out. Yep.
It wasn't George. It was
James Groman.
I didn't know the Kill Cat. I didn't know the Kill Cat. I got the James Groman part.
Which is hilarious because we were talking about the Kill Cat last week. So Kill Cat.
Oh, it's the Kit Kat thing,
Yeah.
right? I was picturing a cat.
No.
I was picturing a cat.
Me too. I thought it was CAT, not KAT. All right.
I got you. I love the Kill Cat. What am I saying?
I got it, guys.
Well done.
No
Chase.
more cheating, George. Unappreciated. No help, no lifelines, no phone a friend, none of that nonsense.
All right. Well, now that you
brain
understand
up.
the game, maybe we'll get different now. I got 2 points, though.
2 points for George. Number 3. Which two artists made this toy? The Scared Snibora Silly.
Oh, now you're just saying nonsense.
Snibora, booze. Snibora is Chris Roniak.
Yep.
What, and the Scared Silly, wait, say it again?
Scared Snibora Silly.
Scared Silly. Scared Silly. Shoot. I was going to say Serious Silly K, but that doesn't make any sense. What is Scared Silly?
What's a Sniboris?
Snibora is that like the thing that they did with Rotofugi and Squibbles Inc. It's like the lizardy kind of water creature that
thing
Chris
had a
Roniak
name?
did. Yeah. What? Shoot, Scared Silly.
Oh, I'm disappointed, Theresa.
I know I need to. Oh, the bots.
The bots. Well done.
Boom.
So the bots' recent Halloween Dunny series is called Scared Silly, and then of course, you guys already mentioned it. Chris Roniak and Squibbles Inc. produced Snibora.
Can I say how much I love that Halloween series?
Oh
yes,
yeah.
it's adorable.
It's awesome, right?
So it looks so good.
I haven't actually seen it in person. Have you seen it in person?
I haven't because freaking Ben didn't order them. I was like, "Did you get these or not?" And he was like, "No." I saw him on the site. I was like, "Did you get these?" He's like, "No." I was like, "Why not? They're awesome." He's like,
Nah.
No.
He can't buy based on what he likes. He's got to buy.
That's
for his
all
customers.
he does. That's Ben. Have you not met him? He just does what he likes.
George, can you guess which my favorite is? You should know. It's pretty obvious.
Jeez.
Of the Scared Silly?
Yes. Have you seen the full set? It should
I mean,
be
I saw the
glaringly
picture,
obvious.
but I don't know what the. Hold on, let me pull up the picture. Go ahead, Gary, on the next one. I'll pull up the picture while you're doing it.
Okay, so the
You're
next
going to
one.
hold.
The score is
If
George
you don't
2,
get it, I'm going to
Theresa
be
1.
disappointed. Okay, go ahead. Sorry.
Which two artists produced the Skelv Shard?
Skelv Shard. Biz. The Shard. The Shard is Scott Tolson, and the Skelv is Brent Peters.
Well done. All tied up 2-2. Theresa, your new buzz sound is Pieces. Pieces.
Fine. You all can't. I give you this episode and this episode only to make fun, and then we drop it.
Okay.
Because although more than likely, if you were to hand me some or bring them up, I will probably totally forget and call it Reese's Pieces. So.
Probably. All right, so I'm looking at the pieces, and
yes,
all you like is cute, but they're all cute. But, I mean...
There's a standout in the cute realm, though.
Would it be the puking pumpkin guy? I mean, that would... But I don't know if you'd like puking. Would it be that pink one with the happy face?
ding, ding, ding.
That's the one, right?
Yep.
It's the pink one. It's
that's
not.
the one.
It's not
That's
glaringly
least,
obviously.
That's my least favorite one out of all of them.
course. Well, buy a case and give me the pink.
I just want the puking pumpkin one.
See, I don't like the puking. I just don't, because I also didn't like the rainbow one that was puking. It's just the puking. I just don't.
He's puking pumpkin. That's funny.
I don't. Did you know that the pumpkin comes apart, George, so you can take the figure out and put other Dunnies in it?
Oh, that's cool.
Mm-hmm.
So that's
Right.
I just think it's really cool, like the accessories, and we're kind of diverting, but like the witch, how it's like on a broom that floats, and
Yeah,
like
it's
the
really
little,
nice set.
Yeah, it's fun.
And
So
I like
anyway,
the little
so yeah.
sculpted. I like the new head, like the sculpted head with the little fur and everything.
Yeah, I think I think it's similar. I don't know if it's the exact same sculpt. I think it is from the DTA series that they did with Gary. I think it's the same monster sculpt head from that, just repurposed for the series, I think.
Oh, cool.
But yeah, I like that they added a few details. I still personally feel like nothing can trump the bot's custom style just because of the polymer clay and the texture and the way they do it. But I think their designs translate really well to vinyl as well. So I love their stuff. I've always loved their stuff. I actually own a few of their customs. So, all right, Gary.
All right, you guys are all tied up. Question 5.
2-2?
2-2. Question 5. Which two artists collaborated to make this toy? The Grease Bat Boy. The Grease Bat Boy.
I know the grease bat, but I don't know what the boy part is. Or Bat Boy.
Grease Bat and Bat Boy.
Are you Googling?
No.
Sound like it.
It sounded like you were typing as you said it.
No, I'm literally, that's how my brain is computing, okay? I don't know who Bat Boy.
Are you talking Bat Boy like the Funko?
Nope.
Like the old newspaper Bat Boy?
Nope.
Okay.
I mean, the only...
You want to call a friend?
Oh, PCs. Well, I know it's Jeff Lamb. Is Bat Boy, shoot, I was thinking of something else. I was thinking of Harley Quinn, but that's not right. I don't know. Bat Boy. Or Bat. Or Boy.
Is it Guana Spoons?
Close. Good guess.
Oh, I know what you're thinking about. I know what character your mind went to. Is it
I just know he made a bat figure. I don't know what it's called.
It's not you, is it, Gary, for Hermes?
No, I mean these are the names of the actual toys. One,
okay, that's what
both
I thought.
So the first toy is Grease Bat, and the second toy is Bat Boy.
Bat Boy. I feel stupid. I feel like it's going to be something stupid, but I don't. It's not like
Time's up. So you had it right, George. The first one, Grease Bat, was done by Jeff Lamb, and the second one is Bat Boy, done by Brian Flynn of Super 7.
Oh, the little mummy?
No, the little Bat Boy.
Oh,
you know what? I almost
gosh,
said Super 7.
I freaking have that toy. I have a little mini one. The little mini glow in the dark one.
All right.
Oh, I think it was just too simple of a name.
You guys are still tied at 2-2. Question 6. Which two artists collaborated to make the toy the Boo Bear Blank?
Say the name again?
Boo Bear Blank.
Oh, Boo Bear.
Oh, PCs. The Blank, Hucky, and Andrea Kang.
Correct.
Kang.
Wow, look who just took the lead. 3-2.
Except we have Wheel of Fortune rules, and you mispronounced his name, so I get to go.
Gosh. Is it G or G?
Don't know.
Kang or Kong?
Don't know.
No idea.
I feel terrible. I apologize to the listeners for failing, but I still got it. A point. Woo!
All right, so you got 3. George, you got 2. Next one. Which two artists collaborated on making this toy? The Cereal Calaveritas.
George. Ron English and the Beast Brothers.
Nicely done. Tall tied up.
George, you can't just say your name. Gary, make him say something fun.
I can't make George do anything. No one can make George do anything.
You have to say Cowabunga.
No
That's
way.
in the wheelhouse. Oh gosh, fine. Be grumpy old Gary or George. You can be all George, and I'll keep saying pieces.
I'll say pieces. I'll say it the right way.
Okay.
All right. Next one, all tied up at 3-3. The next one is, which two artists made this toy? Gloomy Divination.
I don't know who made. I don't know who made Gloomy Bear.
Yeah, there's an artist behind Gloomy Bear. I didn't know.
Yeah. I mean, I thought it was Gloomy Bear, and then I know the other one, but shoot. Who makes Gloomy? Well, I'll just say PCs. Gloomy made by Gloomy and J. Rue.
And George. I mean, Pieces. Maury Chalk and J. Rue.
Well done. Did you look that up?
No.
Did Jess look that up?
Maybe.
No point. No point, you rule breaker.
I'm a rebel. I'm a winner, you guys. We win.
Yellow card. Yellow card.
All right. George, 4-3. All right, next one. Which two artists made this toy? The Ice Scream Oracle.
Well, the first one is easy. Oh, PCs. Stop laughing. It's what I'm supposed to say. It's Sad Salesman.
Yep.
And then Ice Cream. Ah, shoot. I was gonna say Buff Monster.
No.
But then.
Nope. Oh, I got it. Can I buzz in?
Give her 5 more seconds.
Ryan Rutherford.
Nice. She pulled that out at the last second. Yep. Ice Cream Man by Ryan Rutherford. And Sad Salesman did the Dessert Oracle. We're all tied up. Tied up at 4.
I was wondering because I was like, it's either the ice cream from Buff or the ice cream cone skull.
But Buff's is called Melty Misfit, so.
Oh, thank you. I was like, I knew it was an ice cream guy, but cool. Okay.
I got 2 left, and George, I think this is actually reused from the last game.
Uh-oh.
So here we go. Which
Scott Tolson and Amanda Pacell.
No. Who made this one? Stephen the Mockbat. Stephen the Mockbat.
Yeah, I don't know these guys' names.
Theresa?
This isn't fair, too. You're giving George an advantage repeating stuff he's heard.
You think that's an advantage? That's cute.
I mean, Mockbat sounds like Buona Spoons. Or one of them. Maybe.
Is it Doc A and Paul Kaiju?
No. You both put your 2 answers together and one of you will get it right.
Buona Spoons and the second one George said.
Paul Kaiju.
Paul Kaiju.
Half a point each.
Half a point each. Yep. 4.5 each. So yeah, Stephen the Bat by Buona Spoons and Mockbat by Paul Kaiju. This is the tiebreaker, folks. Tiebreaker, here we go. Which 2 artists collaborated on this toy, The Possessed Omen?
PCs. Course. And shit. I don't know what possessed is.
You want to share the half a point? We'll go out on a tie.
Yeah, I don't. Oh, Luke Chu?
Damn it.
Well done!
Oh my god!
Congratulations. George, have you ever won a game?
No, I don't think so.
That was actually really close, though.
It was.
Not really. I cheated on all the ones I got.
Which is George.
Except for one of them, I think. One of them I knew.
Which you got the which one was that? The Skull Shard?
That was me.
Oh, that was you. Which one did George get?
It was the Beast Brothers one.
Oh yeah, yeah, you got that one pretty fast. All right, so
That's the only one I knew.
Theresa wins. This is the end of our Halloween episode. Not bad. So I wish you guys a happy Halloween. Be safe.
I liked your guys' costumes. They were really cool.
Thanks.
Be on the lookout for my dog's costume, not mine. I don't typically do the whole dress up my dog thing, but I found something really cute in the dollar spot at Target, so she's got a little outfit this year.
I got mine from RedTube.
Of course you did.
All right, so I wish you guys a happy Halloween. This is going to be. Let's just wrap this up and be safe out there.
So next week we do Decon talk.
Yeah, next week, hopefully some people will release some news, and we'll just do a whole entire decon episode.
I'll tell you all about what I'm gonna have there.
Nice. We'll continue with decon 101. See if we missed anything on that.
Yeah, confirm. We can confirm Marsham group meetup plans and our pin for wearing a T-shirt giveaways and some of that kind of stuff, so we can fill
So
everyone
if anyone has any questions about decon related things, except for can you get me this, write into us. Let us know.
Yeah.
And I totally forgot we had listener questions, but we will bring up the listener questions next week.
Nice. I think that's good.
Yep. So Theresa, why don't you let everyone know where they can find you?
Sure. Yeah. Theresa Hawkins. If you want to find me, I'm on Instagram, tmhawk24.
George.
Instagram is Double G Toys.
I'm Gary Ham. You can find me at superham.com or Gary Ham on Instagram. This has been the Marsham Toy Hour. We do this every week, not because we have to,
but because we want to.
So until our next transmission, we're signing off. I'm going to go get some Reese's Pieces.
Delicious.